Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. You can't?
No, yes, that's done
Yes,
now.
no, yes. Thank you, Jenny. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely marvellous to see you here. The event tonight is in a joint play of the theatre. It's part of the history series and the funds of the choir of Selwyn College, Cambridge, which has a big international tour coming up. And so we thought we would like to help. I'll tell you who we is in a moment. Well, can I tell you a little bit beyond that before I introduce the team? You will all have heard of the Humphrey family of Sudbury. Humphrey Road is named after them, and the great famous Victorian surgeon, Sir George Murray Humphrey, was born in Hardwick House, round the corner here. And there's a blue plaque over the house saying that he was born there in 1820. The time that he died was Professor of Surgery in Cambridge University. He was a Fellow of the Royal Society and a man of great eminence, and he died in 1896. So I want to say something about him, and also his wife Mary, who was a very talented medical illustrator. I don't think we have them now, it's all done by computer graphics. So that was Lady Humphrey, and they had two children, Alfred and Edith. And because they lived in Cambridge in that marvellous, lovely house next door to the Fitzwilliam Museum, a very big house, their children lived with them, Alfred and Edith, and also Alfred's family. Now, Alfred's wife was called Lizzie. She was known as Lizzie Humphrey, and they had 3 children, Stuart, Martin, and Bertha, and the fourth one, who was born just before his young mother died in 1886. And I don't want to go all through their ages, but when Lizzie died in 1886, the eldest son, Martin, was only 9 years old, so that gives you some idea of how young the children were when their mother died. So there we are. We've got George and Lady Humphrey, we've got Alfred and Lizzie, and Alfred from 1884 to 1900 was a very distinguished bursar of Selwyn College, Cambridge. So the Humphrey family provide us with a link between so much of Sudbury history and so much of the history of Selwyn College in the late Victorian period. George, even though he was Professor of Surgery in Cambridge, was everlastingly in Sudbury. He did a huge amount in Sudbury, all while he was in Cambridge. He's an important figure. I can't go into all that now, but I can tell you that he was a close friend of the great Victorian novelist, George Eliot, and through George Eliot he met the great Russian novelist, and had dinner with him one night, I discover, the great Russian novelist Turgenev. And George Eliot and George Murray Humphrey had a very fruitful partnership in the matter of physiology, and it was those two who established a great lectureship in physiology at Trinity College, Cambridge, which has provided so many Nobel Prize winners. And he's an important man in that respect. But also, and he was very emphatic about this, he said his best and closest friend was George William Andrews. Now, we know who he was, famous Sudbury solicitor, Tory party agent, a regular crook as a politician and political agent, but a thoroughly nice and decent man in private. He was George Murray Humphrey's best friend. Now, George William Andrews, as I expect you know, was the grandson of the Mr. and Mrs. Andrews in the famous Gainsborough portrait, which Andrew Phillips knows more about than I do. And also, he was an acquaintance of Charles Dickens, who came once or twice to Sudbury in the 1830s and witnessed the awfully corrupt parliamentary elections we were having. And George William Andrews made the acquaintance of Dickens, and by reputation, George William Andrews is the model for Mr. Perker in the Pickwick Papers. So there you are. That is the Humphrey family, and I'll go into it in detail. I'll go into it in more detail a little later when I want to talk about the Humphrey family in relation to the music that they liked. I mean, you don't want to hear me rabbiting on for 2 hours on a Sunday night, so all these lovely people from Cambridge have come to help me stop talking. And I'll tell you what we're going to do in just a minute. Now, thank you for coming. There are several people in the audience I ought to thank, most notably the lady who organises the history evenings here, Fiona Wheeler. There she is, sitting modestly down there, who's done a huge amount. And she has been helped indispensably by Marianne Gilbert, who is sitting up there. And also I must thank Irene Harding Payne, whose birthday it is today. Where's Irene? So, and Irene is indispensable because she has provided the whole of the percussion section of tonight's orchestra. She's brought in a huge bag of percussion instruments, which is almost as big as herself. And we're awfully grateful to you, Irene, for doing that, and many happy returns of the day because it is your birthday. Thank you. And of course, there are so many people, and up there somewhere is Simon Frampton, who always contributes a great deal, so we're very grateful to have Simon. He sees to absolutely everything, including pushing the grand piano out from the back onto the stage. Now, the team, let me tell you who the team are. Shall I try and do it in alphabetical order? First of all, we've got Rob Byron, who came last year and helped with the Goldberg Variations. You all know Rob, or most of you do. Then we've got a newcomer. I'm trying to do this in alphabetical order. Adam Sigmund Mark, who is over here with the glasses. Wave to them or smile or do something. And he is actually a member of Clare College, not a member of Selwyn. He read English at Clare College. He's a very talented pianist. He's now doing a Master of Music degree at the Royal Academy of Music. Howard Dobson over here is not exactly a member of Selwyn College, but he is a very productive and helpful member of the Friends of the Choir of Selwyn College. And next to him is his wife, who comes to keep just an eye on him, and she's agreed to join the percussion section of the orchestra tonight. That's Jane. Leslie Payne, the Victorian lady here, is going to sing to us. She also is a friend of the choir. And then we've got Mark Schuster, whom I've only just got to know. He's a rare type of young man in as much as he's very devout and a supporter of the chapel and a first-rate natural scientist, reading the natural science tripos in Cambridge University in his first year. And then over there, next to young Adam, is James Wicks, a hugely talented violinist, and I shall say more about him presently. So that's the team. Now, can I get back to the Humphreys? And here I have to look at my notes. No, yes, that's right. You're going to have a cigarette or something. Anybody else wanted to talk? Have a listen before I start? No? All right. They are listening. They're just round the corner being very modest. Lizzie Humphrey died as a very young woman in childbirth, but about 12 years ago I had a document from the Cambridge University Library saying that Lizzie Humphrey had kept a very detailed diary of her marriage to Alfred Humphrey, and the diary was a domestic diary extending from 1876, the year she married, to 1886, the year she died. And it was available if anybody wanted to go and have a look at it. So I had a look at it. It was a massive creation in many exercise books, but it was simply a diary. And I think I've read it twice. It's a fascinating thing. There's a lot in it about the history of Cambridge and Selwyn College and Sudbury. She tells us when Sir George Murray Humphrey came to Sudbury. She even gives the times of his trains from Cambridge to Sudbury, because the line opened, you remember, in 1865. Now, when I read this diary, I thought, well, somebody ought to talk about it, but how to make it interesting. And there were lots of musical references in it. that